Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, joined by EZ this week.
What's up?
And, well, we have a lot to talk about. We have the fallout from the Royal Rumble. We also have AEW to talk about. And, if you've never seen the show before, this is the Just Us Marks Wrestling Recap Show. I'm at EZ at All In Starcast. We love wrestling. We love talking wrestling. We love sharing a love of pro wrestling with each and every one of you out there. However, just like each and every one of you out there, our opinions are that of any other fan. We avoid insider terms because we are not insiders. We are not wrestlers. We are just marks. So, starting off, we have Cody Rhodes talking about his journey, and to this dismay of wrestling Twitter, he was cheered pretty heavily. Like, people liked him. I know. They must be stupid. Must not be real wrestling fans.
He was cheered, okay, and
Oh, everybody's all saying that, he's actually not over enough and not good enough to be in that spot.
This isn't 2009 anymore. Like, he's completely over.
No, he's not. Sami Zayn's more over, and that's why you should just not have... Cody should just, wrestle, I don't know, like Dominic Mysterio or something. But to the dismay of Twitter, right now he's still over. Right now he's still popular. Right now he's still getting cheered. So yeah, until that changes, I mean, you can keep hoping, you can keep wishing. You can be the one person thinking you're smarter than everybody else right now in the in a crowd when you buy a ticket and say boo, boo, we don't like you. But until all of those people start buying tickets, kind of shit out of luck. It could happen. I'm not going to say it can't. I've seen stranger things occur in the wrestling business.
I just realized it kind of is enforcing the whole AEW or even like WWE fans living rent free. You're kind of doing this right now.
Well, it's like what I've said for years on the show. Shitting on Cody Rhodes made people sound cool. Like, you sounded like you were cool. You were hip. I don't waste my time with pish posh Cody Rhodes. Don't you know that Kenny Omega is the best in the world?
I understand the hatred when when the whole Rhodes to the Top thing was going on. It's like, God, that was canceled immediately, but still,
it was canceled because he went to WWE. It probably would have got a second season
that too, yeah.
had he stayed in AEW. And I didn't even really mind the show. I mean, I'm not a reality show guy, so I mean, you could put John Elway, Shawn Michaels, Ricky Rudd, fucking Yadier Molina, all in a reality show, and I probably wouldn't watch it. If I did watch it, it would be long after the fact. I just don't care for reality TV. That's just me. I just this is, right now people are invested in him. They're just as invested in him as they are Sami Zayn. You can point out your little nuances that support your way of thinking, because in the echo chamber known as the IWC, that's what we're all about. We don't want to have a discussion about pro wrestling. We really don't. We really don't. We really don't want to hear anybody else that likes something else and going like, why do you like something else? We don't want to have that debate. What we want to do is go, Cody Rhodes sucks. Cody Rhodes sucks. Cody Rhodes sucks. Cody Rhodes sucks. Cody Rhodes is bad. Cody Rhodes is bad. Cody Rhodes piece of shit. Cody Rhodes piece of shit. He's a traitor. He's bad. He's not good in the ring. See? Me and my friends who agree with me all hate Cody Rhodes, so therefore, Cody Rhodes is bad. Therefore, anybody that thinks Cody Rhodes is good is dumb, lowbrow, a sheep, or not a real wrestling fan. Even at All In, maybe not necessarily the people in the crowd, because I was actually in the crowd that day. It was, far cry from what far cry from what I experienced at All Out 2020 with the fan base and the people I was around. Even in the IWC then, you were smart if you hated Cody Rhodes. Like, oh god, they're putting. Why we gotta sit through this NWA title thing? We need. Don't they know Kenny Omega's wrestling Pentagon? God, I mean, if that match would have gone shorter, fucking the main event could have been. But instead, that fucking piece of shit Cody Rhodes had to take too long with his fucking stuff at All In, and we got too short of a match with the Young Bucks. God, what a piece of shit. Oh, why is he challenging Jericho? Don't you know that Kenny Omega is in the company? Kenny Omega should be the one challenging Jericho at Full Gear. Or Jon Moxley should be the one challenging Jericho. Or Pentagon Jr. Or Peter Avalon, because I want to sound smart. Oh, Cody Rhodes won the TNT title? God, that's so stupid. Why would you want to do that? They know Lance Archer was in New Japan Pro Wrestling? God! And then finally, Cody's character got stale in AEW, and all those people went, see, told you all along, told you Cody was bad. God, that's so bad. See, finally everyone woke up to Cody Rhodes being a piece of shit. Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. I'm smart.
He almost sounded like doing all those voices. Stuart from Mad TV.
Kind of going for that, yeah.
God, I love his skits.
So, hey.
I miss Mad TV.
But by the end of WrestleMania season, it could be like Cody Rhodes at the end of his AEW run. He could be getting booed out of the building. And when that happens, I will agree. He should not be the one to dethrone Roman. He should not be the one in the main event of WrestleMania. Until that fact occurs, keep praying, keep hoping, keep booing, keep bitching. All you want. He's worthy of that spot. And I will die on that hill. Until I see a change, I will die on that hill. We'll talk more about why that's still the right call, in my opinion, a little bit later on the show. But he starts off, Judgment Day interrupts him. Later on the show, Finn Balor versus Cody Rhodes is set, so I said I was pretty excited about that. Then we had an Elimination Chamber qualifying match between Seth Rollins and Chad Gable. This was great. Two great wrestlers having a great TV match. Maybe not like a match of the year sort of thing, but like for a TV match, it's pretty damn good. Next up, we have Candice LeRae versus Io Sky. Io Sky wins. I love Candice, but this was a good call. Look, Damage Control kind of needs some big wins. So, there you go.
Well, they could have had one if we actually had a proper cage match, but that's just me.
Johnny Gargano wrestled Baron Corbin in an Elimination Chamber qualifier, and Gargano won. So, not a bad match. I mean, it's a good match you're going to get out of Baron Corbin. The Miz comes out to do a promo. I was showing my parents. And that random fucking ad wanted to start playing here on this. I don't understand why. And then we have Rick Boogs come out from his return from injury, and he squashes the Miz. It was what it was. I mean, I'm a Miz fan, but it's kind of And I don't even really have any ill will towards Rick Boogs. He's a fun character. He's a charismatic guy, but whatever.
I know nothing about him, so I got no opinion.
Bronson Reed wrestled Dolph Ziggler in another Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Bronson Reed won. They did this match to make Bronson look good, and Dolph can do that in spades, and that's what happened. Get to the main event now. Finn Balor versus Cody Rhodes. This was a great match. Again, maybe not match of the year, but still a great match. A lot of anger on the IWC after this one for why would you make Finn Balor lose? And I remember even saying when Cody Rhodes won the match, I said, like, I'm putting this out on Twitter. I'm sure that wrestling Twitter is going to handle this with understanding and great objectivity. Yeah, they were a lot of people mad about that. And if it's just because you like Finn Balor and you don't like Cody Rhodes, just say so. Just say so, and then that's cool. You know, I wanted Jay White to lose every match he had in the G1 Climax, but I understand that when you're trying to build him up for Wrestle Kingdom main event, you cannot do that. You cannot have your World Heavyweight Champion lose a bunch of matches, setting him up for the Wrestle Kingdom main event, as you cannot have a challenger lose a one-off TV match to somebody he's not going into a program with at WrestleMania. If you want people to believe in Cody Rhodes, which given what I'm hearing from the IWC, people don't want you to believe in Cody Rhodes. They want you to boom out of the building so they can get what they want. This was the right call. You know, if you want to be like us and be marks and just say, well, I'm a mark for Finn Balor, cool, don't got a problem with that. Root for Finn. Be mad at Cody if you're a fan of Finn Balor. But don't at me about how things need to be written. Because if that's what you think good writing is, you clearly do not know what good writing is. Yes, I'm being an asshole. But, yeah. I don't know. You're an objective onlooker. Do you what do you think about Cody Rhodes beating Finn Balor on Raw?
He beat Finn Balor. Like, obviously, you need to keep him strong, you know, whether he's gonna fight at Elimination Chamber or not. But it's like, the Judgment Day, they've had their fair success, and like, yeah, I will agree that there are certain matches that, you know, Finn should have won that, or the Judgment Day should look stronger than that. But I know that you need to do some justification that, you know, you got to keep Cody strong, whether or not people are going to complain about it, because it sure as hell looks like the Raw crowd, and maybe, whether he's going to make an appearance on SmackDown or not, I don't know. But the Raw crowd seems to look like they're having fun. It's just Twitter is complaining as usual. And it's like, okay, then if you're so pissed off about it, how come the crowd looks like they're happy with it?
Is it because they're unsmart and they're sheepies, don't you know? That's what I get told a lot.
They just want to watch good content here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's literally it. Like, I frankly, am I like sad that, like, you know, I wanted, you know, Sami Zayn to make an appearance and win the Rumble? Like, yeah, just a little bit. But, you know, Cody was going to win it. Cody was going to win it. So,
see, this is the thing.
And just move on.
This is the thing, because I've had people tell me, like, well, you were mad about Daniel Bryan in 2014, so why aren't you mad about Sami Zayn? Here's the differences. Here's the differences in all of that. One, when they chose to go with Batista over Daniel Bryan. Nobody wanted that. In the echo chamber that was the IWC, we didn't want that then. Nor did the crowd want that. Nor did the crowd the next night on Raw and through the entire build to WrestleMania. Nobody wanted Batista. Now, if the fans that are in the crowds turn on Cody Rhodes the same way they did Batista, then absolutely. It's the same thing, and the plan should be changed. I'm with you. You have people excited about Sami Zayn and excited about Cody Rhodes. And the only people that make it seem like Sami's lapping the field on this is in this echo chamber. Is where they can just find all their friends that agree with them and say, told you. Here's something else. And this, I'm not saying that this is good in the slightest. I'm not saying that this is something that I personally like. I'm not saying anything to condone this whatsoever. And if you don't like WWE for this reason, I get you. Sami Zayn cannot go to the Saudi shows. He can't. He's Syrian. He can't do it. He wouldn't do it if he doesn't do it with the choice. He can't do it. That does present a problem. It's not a good problem. It's a problem they shouldn't have, but it's a problem. So, yeah. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for Sami. I agree with anybody that will bring up that point. Is it bullshit? Yeah. Is it just absolutely wrong? Yeah. But that's the company. And until this contract's over, that's going to be the company. I hate that. But if you're going to want a world champion that can make those dates, that's unfortunately the rule. Now, if you want to say that Cody Rhodes is a piece of shit for going to this company, cool. That's your opinion. If you want to say that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and are a piece of shit for continuing to be employed by this company, also cool. But this is what we're doing. This is where you got to think in the unfortunate reality. So, yeah. No, I do not want to sign up for your newsletter, Dave Meltzer. All right. Tag Team Championship Tournament Finals. Imperium versus Ricochet and Braun. Ricochet and Braun win. Here, I will point out an example here. I didn't want Ricochet and Braun to win because I like Imperium. But I get why Ricochet and Braun won. You want a good guy tag team to wrestle for the tag team championships that are held by bad guys. Yeah, I didn't like the Imperium losing, especially to Braun Strowman. But there you go. Women's Championship match, Charlotte Flair versus Sonya Deville. Charlotte won. Also, something I did forget to mention from Raw, because I'm only just looking at the matches and not all of the segments here. Rhea Ripley did say that she will be challenging Charlotte at WrestleMania. So, again, there's more of a storyline to Flair and Rhea than there is Deville and Rhea. Especially with how Rhea said in her interview that she lost at WrestleMania to Charlotte once, and she wants to avenge that. So you have a story there. Whether or not you like Charlotte or not, there's the story. And it's a deeper story than Sonya Deville. And I say that as somebody who likes Sonya Deville. Brawling Brutes wrestled the Viking Raiders. Disappointing, because I like the Brutes and I like the Viking Raiders, but disappointing. Elimination Chamber qualifier. Shotzi versus Vega versus Natalya versus Shayna. Natalya won. Kind of wanted Shayna to win. This is one time where I will say, yeah, they had the wrong person win this one, but yeah. And then finally we have the very end segment. Roman Reigns addressed the Bloodline. Earlier in the night, there was a backstage segment where Jey Uso was not with the Bloodline. And Roman's getting more paranoid about it. Roman says that Sami Zayn was using the Bloodline. And Sami Zayn attacks Roman, says he wants a match for the championship. Then Solo and Jimmy come into the ring, beat up Sami. And then Roman, and the way they did this was very, very well done. Roman starts yelling to Sami, but he doesn't do it over the mic. He's talking directly to his face where only the camera picks up the audio, which I thought was really cool. And basically says that you're going to get your shot, you're going to get it in your hometown. I'm going to destroy you in front of your friends and your family in Montreal. That's very well done. And, I mean, if you want to have the top good guy versus the top bad guy, the top good guy in their hometown, only thing I don't like is it's for both belts, and they don't seem to be having any interest in splitting the belts. This could have been a good get out of jail free card. Made everybody happy, but not everybody's ever going to be happy.
Like me. Because literally this could have been for the Universal Championship.
But we don't know how this match is going to end. They could set up something. And here's something else I tell people, and then they tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe it's just not Sami's time yet. Maybe the time is coming. Maybe Sami and Roman's feud doesn't end in a title match. Maybe Sami wins the Rumble next year. 2018, everybody was chomping at the bit for Tetsuya Naito to beat Kazuchika Okada at the Tokyo Dome. And Naito failed. Because it wasn't yet Naito's time. Naito had more of a journey to take. It was Kenny Omega's time, 6 months after the fact, to end Okada's run. That was the story they were telling. They were going to go with Kenny. No one had a problem with that. No one had a problem with Tetsuya Naito having to wait 2 more years to get his run. No one had a problem with Kenny Omega being the guy. Maybe this is the same sort of thing. Maybe this is Cody's time. Maybe there's more to this.
Despite the fact that Sami has been with WWE for 10 years now.
Okay.
AJ Styles has been with
He's
us
injured.
Shorter. Well, I'm just saying, like, previously, just going through his resume, AJ has already won a title shot. This was like a year or two
Okay.
when he got signed.
Okay.
And we had to wait like a whole decade for Kofi to win the championship because Kofi Mania and such. Like, I wasn't behind on Kofi Mania, but he won the title. I wasn't pissed. I too thought it wasn't Kofi's time because I just didn't get behind him. For Sammy, like, there comes a point where it's like, what they did at least with Kofi is they pushed him a lot more and fans got behind it. And in Sammy's case, it's like, he's been NXT champ already. He's been Intercontinental champ. How is he not? I forgot whether he won the U.S. title. How has he not been Universal champ already?
It's not been time. Here's an example.
Practically ditched WWE, goes on an indie run, creates AEW, and then crawling back on his hands and knees because he wants more money to be in the WWE, and then he's got a title shot like already a year.
Crawling back because he wants more money. What? Cody crawling back on his hands and knees because he wants more money?
I was just saying hypothetically. That's weird,
but that's not what went down. I mean, that's a nice narrative that some AEW fans like to push, but he straight up wasn't getting what he wasn't a top guy in AEW. And he wasn't going to be accepted as one. WWE fans, for all intents and purposes, has accepted him.
Cody literally could have been the villain of the company.
He didn't want to be. We cheer that for WWE, or for when people leave WWE. I didn't want to be what they wanted me to, so I go to AEW and we're like, oh, huzzah, 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 good for you.
But yeah, as for Sammy, though, it's like...
Sammy might have he might win next year. How long is it going to be? I don't know. There could be a bigger story here. What?
Isn't his contract coming up or something?
Maybe it is. Maybe he'll resign. Maybe he won't. Maybe him not resigning is the reason they're not going to give him a belt.
Find this right now. Sami Zayn contract.
And here's something else I want to say to anybody who thinks that, well, Cody wasn't there long enough. Did the IWC didn't really have such a problem with CM Punk coming into AEW and ending one of their best homegrown guys' run? Nobody had any qualms about that. None. Other than me. None. Nobody cared. Because he's CM fucking Punk.
And Sammy did sign a multi-year deal.
There you go. There could be a bigger story on their hands. Hell, the bigger story, people want to shit on this. Maybe it's KO and Sammy winning the tag titles together at WrestleMania and ending the longest tag team championship run in company history. Maybe it's Sammy realizing really who his true family is again. Maybe. That could be a good story, but no.
Then why does it look like they're already breaking up the bloodline before Mania even happens?
We don't know what's going to happen. That could be we don't know. I get told with AEW, when it looks like shit right off the bat, just enjoy the ride. It's great wrestling. It's a good story. Just sit down, shut up, and enjoy it. He could be going next year. It could be Sami Zayn and Finn Balor next year. Maybe. We don't know. It could be Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens next year. There could be a lot more. Again, the people that were mad about Tetsuya Naito not winning in the Dome, everybody said, just let it play. Just let it play. And there was 2 years worth of a journey that Tetsuya Naito had to go on. He had to get past Chris Jericho. He had to get past Jay White. And then he became the first person to eventually, what would eventually become the unification of the Intercontinental and Heavyweight Championships in New Japan Pro Wrestling. There could be a greater arc here with Sammy. But, we're not supposed to give any more benefit of the doubt. We're not supposed to let this play. It's WWE. And they gave that piece of shit Cody Rhodes the championship match. Ain't that right, Twitter? Great segment, though, with Roman, the best title reign I've seen in the last 5 years. Now it's time to light the fuse and bring the boom. And talk about Dynamite. First match, Hangman Page and Jon Moxley. This was really good. Really glad that Hangman won the match.
Really weird pin, but okay.
Well, I like the really weird pin because it's pretty clear this feud ain't over yet.
And I want this feud to keep going, obviously. It's just... I just thought that was, like, the most bizarre way to end it. It's, like, on a botched pin. Or whatever. It's just... That didn't make sense to me. I did like that Moxley, he came out with his dad coming in, but it was... I did laugh that, like, Wheeler Yuta got the cold shoulder because he wasn't mentioned by Roberts.
Yeah, I mean, they just want... Since Moxley won, I don't foresee him going on his vacation now.
Oh, don't worry, I'm still bitching about that. Just give him this goddamn vacation already, please.
But, this...
Like, it's gonna be Hangman Moxley at Revolution, Hangman wins, and then Mox finally just gets his fucking vacation.
Or does he wait till after their biggest show at Double or Nothing?
I don't know.
That's the other thing. But yeah, I mean, like, I wanted Hangman to win because I'm a Hangman fan. But, they're doing something here. I'm letting them do it. I know this is the only company we're allowed to do that with, but I'm letting this go because there's still something here, and now Hangman has every right to say, you knocked me out, you barely beat me, and I beat you once. Let's do something to decisively decide who the better man is.
One of my podcast buddies, Kalen from Wednesday Night Wall-Up, follow him on Twitter, by the way. He jokingly was saying, how about an exploding death match? I'm like, absolutely not.
No.
Like, let's try again with an exploding barbed wire match. It's like, please no. A death match maybe, but not an exploding barbed wire match again.
The Acclaimed wrestled some... I didn't know who those guys were. They never mentioned their names, but the Acclaimed won.
I didn't think they got an announcement. They were just two locals.
Yep. Konosuke Takeshita wrestled Brian Cage. This was a good match.
And Acclaimed and the Guns are getting a title fight. Which, that'll be interesting.
Whoopee. Look, this isn't any slight on the Acclaimed. They are the right people to be the tag team champions in AEW. AEW's tag division, what the fuck happened? Seriously, what the fuck happened?
I do agree.
What happened? It used to be so hot. There's so many, other things going on in the tag division in AEW, but now it's just it's like WWE, where, outside of the tag team title program, there's nothing else really going on except for maybe some tag team matches.
It's on the booking level of the women's division. That's how low it looks.
I wouldn't say it's gone that bad, but it needs an improvement. It really does. But
I would love an Acclaimed versus House of Black. That would scare the crap out of me, and I would love it.
hmm,
Or even Ethan Page and Matt Hardy, since Hardy's still stuck with Stokely's little boys, but still.
but they're doing stuff like that in the 6-man division. It's like, you know, AEW has enough stables they could do a 6-man division, but I feel like I'm going to quote Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec here. I feel like they're half-assing 2 things instead of whole-assing 1.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Takeshita beat Cage. MJF was around. They had a skirmish backstage. We have MJF versus Takeshita in a title eliminator match next week. Next up was maybe my favorite match this week. Bryan Danielson versus Timothy Thatcher.
Yes.
This is my sort of wrestling. Just this is what I'm here for when it comes to wrestling. Loved it. Loved the story they told with the match. They're trying to talk about like all the people that MJF is using to weaken Bryan Danielson. And, like, when we eventually do get to that Iron Man match, MJF's going to be able, like, Bryan's going to be so worn down that when MJF wins, Bryan doesn't lose any credibility by losing, but MJF will still have a win, and it will further his character. This is probably my favorite thing going on in AEW right now, and it's great. Love the match. Love the story they told with, how Danielson. What the? No, Dave, I don't want to do that. Keep getting pop-ups because I'm reading this off of the Observer website, the results, and it's like, you want to subscribe to our newsletter? No, Dave, I sure don't.
Yeah, I used to get emails from the WWE before when I had my very first email, and obviously I don't anymore because I don't want to.
I get email.
I only get emails from AEW. That's pretty much it.
I get you buy something off of one of their websites, they're going to spam email you. You buy some tickets.
Yeah.
I bought Cardinal tickets off Ticketmaster, and they're like, hey, you're from around St. Louis. Did you know this band that you obviously don't like is going to be in St. Louis? Would you like to go?
Oh God, I got like emails from like Madison Square Garden, even like the.
Yeah, same. Yes.
I bought tickets and I was like, hey, you're just. I even had one person ask me if I was interested in Rangers tickets. Like, okay, with all due respect, I know you're doing your job, but I don't like the Rangers, so please, no, thank you.
Yeah, like getting like, hey, this pop band's gonna be at Madison Square Garden. You've been to Madison Square Garden. Would you like to go? No. But yeah.
Not unless they're giving me free hockey tickets for Winnipeg and New York, sure, but anything else, no, don't care.
I wouldn't even go to the hockey game. Would have gone to a Yankee game had they been in town when I was there, but I don't even like the Yankees. I just wanted to be able to say I've been to a Yankee game. But yeah.
Rather dress up as a leprechaun in Notre Dame than go watch the Yankees. I'll do a ballpark tour, but not a baseball game.
I'd like to watch
not unless they're dead last and the Blue Jays are on top.
I wouldn't mind. I don't.
I'm just saying that.
Outside of the Cardinals, the only game I'd want to go see in baseball would be Yankees, like one Yankees Red Sox game.
Oh, for sure.
And not at Fenway.
I'd rather go see that in Fenway.
No, I don't want to go to Fenway. I'm content never going to Boston.
I like Boston for the Patriots.
I don't like Boston. But yep, great match. Danielson's hurt, and then so here's where I feel like the AEW editing team needs a little help. So they then cut to a backstage segment, and they don't specify that this was on another day, that this was at Rampage, this was last week, anything.
Or during filming of BTE.
Nothing. And so we're supposed to believe, because we were not told anything, and if another company would have done it this way, it would have been rightfully chastised, that MJF, who just got into a heated altercation backstage with Konosuke Takeshita, and was wearing his new black Better Than You dress shirt,
for only $50 on Pro Wrestling Tees, by the way,
has now changed clothes, calmed down significantly, and has gone into Rush's locker room to offer Rush money. I'm okay with the segment. I'm okay with this setting up the next hurdle for Bryan Danielson. All of that's fine. No issue there. I would have just preferred, if you're going to have that much of a discrepancy in the editing and that much of an obvious, this did not just take place, that you at least say, like, this happened last week. This happened on Rampage. That something happened. This is not live. But instead, they don't specify that. And we are to believe that MJF has, in a matter of 15 minutes, calmed down that much, showered, changed clothes, and he's good to go with this thing of money, after just being told that he has to wrestle an eliminator match that he doesn't want to wrestle. If WWE had ran a storyline and done a segment like this on Raw or SmackDown, anywhere, everybody would be making fun of the poor editing and how bad that was. This would be ridiculed on Botchamania, and rightfully fucking so.
Probably an entire episode, too.
Come on, AEW, make your free throws.
Apparently the Young Bucks can.
They're too interested in actually going, look, basketball, we're basketball fans, than, trying to tighten up their show a little bit.
Which, by the way, when they were, AEW was in Dayton, home of the Dayton Flyers, and they went to Wright State. Nowhere near Dayton. It's in the area, but nowhere near Dayton. Just from someone who is living here voluntarily in Ohio. It's like if they were in St. Louis, you're on the campus of the St. Louis University, and they're all the way out in Springfield, home of Mizzou.
Yeah. Yeah,
that makes no sense.
Yep. I mean, I'm sure somebody's going to defend it. You're not supposed to think too deep on these things. Well, but you would be pissed off. You'd be pissed off if something like that happened with WWE. You'd be going, this is insulting to my intelligence. If you're gonna try and do this, I'm smarter. I'm ethically better. This, that, and the other. I have sophisticated intelligence in my taste in wrestling, and this is why I don't give anything the time of day. You either got to condemn that, or just flat out say, it's not a matter of my intelligence, it's a matter of my own taste, and my tastes say I don't care if AEW does it, and I will mock WWE because I hate them. Cool. Now, when you give your opinion on something WWE, I won't take it seriously. Or if you say that something, if you said something from WWE sucks, I'm like, well, you hate WWE, so of course you think it sucks. If you say that, this AEW thing was the best thing ever, I'm not going to take it seriously because, well, you You think everything AEW does is great, so you're gonna cut it more slack. That's just it's it's like it's like ESPN with Notre Dame. ESPN hates Notre Dame, so of course they say they're a bad team. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're
Everybody
wrong.
except NBC says Notre Dame sucks.
No, CBS likes Notre Dame, and Fox is usually pretty good about Notre Dame. It's ESPN that holds the grudge.
And then the playoff 4 happens, and they're like, Notre Dame, he said it all along, they weren't that good. It's like, yeah, okay, sure.
No, literally, they played a bowl game on ESPN. They won, and ESPN went, Notre Dame defeats South Carolina. Great effort from South Carolina. Like, they're not even hiding it anymore.
For an SEC team, that's sometimes bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. They don't want to say that an SEC team lost. They're just going to go, what an effort against this team that actually wasn't that good. It's like, come on now. Fucking don't.
Oh god, imagine like a wrestling version of Come On Man. Actually, wait, there is. It's called Botchmania. Never mind.
A wrestling version of what?
The wrestling version of Come On Man. It's Botchmania.
I was just quoting New Jack. Rest in peace. TBS Championship actually defended on TBS this time. Red Velvet versus Jade Cargill. Look, I love Jade. You really need to start positioning somebody else to do this right now. I'm getting a little burnt out. I get it. And if you're holding out for Chris Statlander, I get it.
How long has she been out by
a long time, and I don't know if she's going to be back anytime soon because of her injury. That's the problem. If Statlander is coming back soon, okay, we're here. We're on the same page. If Statlander isn't, how much longer can we do this?
Like, literally every week, I'm just expecting her return, but it's like, what's going on here?
Like, I don't...
It's like she's literally running out of people to fight.
Exactly. So, it's... Look, these undefeated streaks are a great tool, and they make a superstar, come in hot right out the gate, and it's great. Goldberg...
Goldberg, Roman Reigns even, but or Hulk Hogan. But we need to keep building in some competition for those guys, though.
I had zero.
Jade's running out of opponents.
Yeah, I had zero. The thing with Bruno and Hogan, that wasn't really, most of Bruno's stuff was on house shows, so it didn't really, it wasn't as much of a TV product then. But you would build up somebody that could conceivably defeat Bruno at Madison Square Garden. That was the rule. You bring somebody into TV, the TV taping, and you build them up, and then you make them a threat to Bruno for the Garden, and then you believe that Bruno might lose at the Garden, and then Bruno wins. And I have no problem with that because they kept cycling in new people. Here's Stan Hansen, here's this guy, here's that guy, let's all these different people were going after Bruno. Same thing with Hogan's first run. Okay, he's wrestling Harley Race, and he's wrestling Roddy Piper, and he's wrestling Paul Orndorff, and he's wrestling King Kong Bundy, and he's wrestling Nikolai Volkov, and he's wrestling,
hell, here's a good
whoever. But now, and again, as a cynical person who's been destroyed by the internet, now we of course go like, yeah, there's no way that Nikolai Volkov's going to beat Hulk Hogan, but it was built up that might be a threat. And this isn't a knock on Red Velvet. I did not for 1 second believe that Red Velvet was going to beat Jade Cargill.
I didn't even think she was the right person.
But I'm not saying that she should have been the right person. But I'm saying like going into like this big match, is Jade Cargill gonna go 50-0 and all of the buzz that could have been on this match? I did not for 1 moment think this streak is coming to an end. Not at all. This was not. This was. This was Alabama playing their FCS opponent.
Yep. Also, another streak to bring up, Asuka.
Yes, exactly, Asuka. Is Ember Moon gonna end it? Is Nikki Cross gonna end it? What's gonna happen here?
And Mickie James.
Yeah, Mickie, I didn't really so much believe in as much because again, that's probably more of my cynicism that came from being on the internet. But it was like, okay, they're bringing in Mickie James to pad her stats, but like Nikki and Ember, I remember during.
And as much as I
believe it was in Chicago, like when Ember didn't beat Asuka, like I was so deflated. It took Undisputed Era debuting to make me go, holy shit! I was not into, and I say this with all due respect, I was so deflated from that loss. I wasn't into Drew McIntyre winning the NXT title because I'm like, fuck. They had people that were, better story behind the undefeated streak, and now it's just like.
Like, as much as like I hated the ending because I'm not really the biggest Charlotte Flair fan at the slightest, her ending Asuka's streak, it kind of seemed a tad fitting because she is the queen after all, and Asuka saying, you were ready for Asuka, congratulations. Like that honestly made me feel a little bit better.
Yeah. Something's got. If you're holding out for stat, you got to do something in the interim to really keep doing because it's starting. All the hard work you've done with Jade is now starting to kind of. You're kind of losing some of that hard work.
It just looks like it's getting stale.
Yes.
Like what my idea was, I was thinking is, for every town that AEW is going to, Jade can challenge like who is like the top like women wrestler in the indie circuit and be like, you beat me, you win this title, and you win like an AEW contract or something. I don't know.
The problem with I agree with half of that. The problem with the AEW contract is Tony Khan. If they have a good match, Tony Khan's going to sign half of them anyway.
Fair.
So that kind of take
night only appearance. Be like, hey, we have like so and so. I don't know, like your biggest St. Louis star from like Gateway or Glory Pro is, but like they can fight Jade and be like a.
But the thing is most people would want them to eventually get signed, especially some of the women in St. Louis right now. And I'm only speaking for my local indie. I can't speak for everybody else's, but they'd want that person to get signed. And if they tear the house down, they'd be like, okay, there's no reason for him not to be signed, hypothetically.
And we had some people from AIW that were at the AEW Cleveland show. They lost on Dark, but we weren't hoping for them to get signed by AEW. It's like, no, it was just cool seeing them wrestle on AEW. That was it.
I don't know. They got to do something. They got to do something because it's getting stale, and I hate to say that about Jade. Now we go to the main event. No holds barred match for the TNT Championship. I didn't like this match as much as everybody else. Like, it was a good match, but this was like of no fault of anybody in the match. But like I could tell that they had some really cool stuff planned, and then just like real life annoyances like went, fuck. Case in point, like Darby comes to the ring wearing this hoodie with thumbtacks all over it, and then he wants to do a move onto Samoa Joe in the hoodie with the tacks, but he like took it off too quickly and it was inside out, and he's like trying to put it on real quick, and the sleeves inside, and like,
There were, a couple of moments.
and then like, fuck, and then he's like trying to cut the canvas and the mat off of the ring, and just they're gonna do something on the hardwood, and like the knife he's using, like the strings aren't coming off, and it's just like, damn it, like it's not Darby's fault, it's not Joe's fault, it's not the wrestler's fault, so I'm not. None of the hard work the wrestlers did took me out of the match. It was all these circumstances that were beyond their control, where you're just like, damn it. Just damn it. And, right or wrong, like that can be like, fuck, it's a mistake. Kind of like, dare I say, the barbed wire exploding ring barbed wire death match.
The exploding barbed wire death match.
Yeah, the ring didn't explode.
There were a couple of moments when, just there's certain things going wrong with it. And Joe winning it back to the TNT Championship was like, okay then, cool, but alright, cool. But it was awesome to see Wardlow back at least. I did think the match was pretty cool, because, I like the hardcore stuff and all that. But, yeah, winning it back was just a little odd, but at least, he's got a new challenger approach it.
Yeah, going back though.
A brand new haircut, Wardlow.
Yeah, like that's fine. Obviously, there's still a story there. And it's cool that they gave Darby a big win in his hometown. If they put the belt on Darby just for that moment, I respect it. But the other thing is, it's like, but part of me is also still kind of going, why didn't Joe just keep the belt?
No, now it got me thinking, why wasn't the Ring of Honor TV Championship on the line?
You know what? I'm good with that, because I am over Ring of Honor stuff being on AEW TV. I don't want that anymore. To me, it actively hurt the product a few months ago when it was a heavy part of the show. So I'm happy that the TV title, the Ring of Honor TV title, was not on the line. Keep like the Offspring say, you got to keep them separated.
Something WWE has a hard time understanding with their championships, but that's just me.
Yeah, exactly. So I am fully in support of AEW not muddying the waters with ROH stuff being part of their program right now. As a matter of fact, once this Wardlow and Joe thing is done, either with Ring of Honor getting something on Honor Club and having a show, either put Joe full-time on Ring of Honor or have him lose the TV title to someone else, and then pick what brand you want Joe on. Do you want him on AEW or do you want him on Ring of Honor? I want a little bit more of a line between Ring of Honor and AEW. Same thing with Claudio. Have Claudio lose that belt or decide, well, I'm the Blackpool Combat Club representative on Ring of Honor. WWE failed their brand extension. AEW has a chance to do shit right. Do it right.
And also swinging way back earlier about, if Sami Zayn was champion, but if there's a Saudi show, obviously he can't go to it. Well, if he was the Universal Champion, we would at least have an opportunity, whoever's the World Heavyweight Champion, to go to Saudi. So there's still a good win-win situation for the fans in the Middle East to see a show.
Yeah. I mean,
so that's why brand separation is good.
Yeah, if they split the titles and Sammy gets one and Cody gets the other, because Cody's only interested in, with his promo, he only wants, he doesn't want the Universal title, and you could tell a good story with that because the Universal title didn't exist when Dusty Rhodes had his run in the WWF and did not won the match but not the championship from Superstar Billy Graham. So you could split them up. That I fully support. What I don't support is, hey everyone, we gotta make sure that Cody Rhodes doesn't make it because fuck Cody Rhodes. Am I right, internet? Until everybody, and I mean everybody does that, you're spitting in the wind, as far as I'm concerned. Cody also moved a shit ton of merchandise too.
What I also just missed from the brand extension was like they had like a good like rivalry between one another, and not just with Survivor Series, the one night of the year where Ross right now, I don't give a fuck anymore. But it felt pretty cool to have like, oh, Raw's way better. You don't want to watch that SmackDown stuff, or vice versa. Like, hey, SmackDown, we got like superstars, like we got the Undertaker here, same example here, and God, who else was there?
It made the Royal Rumble feel more special.
Yes.
When you actually in 2005 when you finally saw Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle interact in the Royal Rumble, and then at WrestleMania you actually had like the interbrand feuds at WrestleMania.
Wasn't it also that whoever brand won the Rumble, they get the main event of Mania as well, regardless of what goes?
That they kind of abandoned that, but
yeah, I know, I could tell from that, but
they abandoned that fairly early in the life cycle, because when Rey Mysterio won and they did the triple threat at WrestleMania 22, Cena and Triple H still went on last, despite the fact that none of those guys won the Royal Rumble.
Nor were they even in the Rumble to begin with.
I can't remember if Triple H was or not. I think Triple H was.
No, it was. I know Cena wasn't.
Cena wasn't because he was wrestling Edge for the title, because Edge cashed in Money in the Bank on him at New Year's Revolution. Triple H might have been in the Rumble. I can't remember though.
Okay, it was Finlay versus Brian Kendrick as your heat match.
I'm not worried about all that. I just want to know if Triple H was in there.
No. Yeah, it was John Cena against Edge. He won by submission.
So Cena wasn't in it.
Oh, Triple H was. He was the number one.
So he didn't win the Royal Rumble, but so they abandoned that, and I didn't like that. And then, yeah, that was thrown completely out the window. But yeah.
Shawn Michaels got eliminated by Shane McMahon, who wasn't even in the match.
Yep. I remember that part because they was in the
your main event was Kurt Angle against Mark Henry for the World Heavyweight Championship because reasons.
No, they were in a feud.
Undertaker came back.
Yeah.
And had no feud whatsoever with Kurt Angle because fuck logic.
No, he came back and had a feud with Kurt Angle. They had a really good match at No Way Out the next month.
No, never mind. I'm just looking at it right now.
Yep. Yeah, definitely go check out that match if you have not seen The Undertaker and Kurt Angle from No Way Out yet. But, that is the end for us this week. I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed, please like, share, subscribe for more content. Listen to the Geeking Out podcast, where EZ and I watched Stan Hansen versus Kenta Kobashi this week. His first exposure to both of those legends. And follow me on my social media, facebook.com/athleticgeek89, Twitter athletic_geek89, Instagram athleticgeek89. Tell me I'm a sheep. Tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Tell me I'm a bad wrestling fan. Just come on with it. And EZ, do you have a Bebo account or something you can promote?
I have a Twitter. I don't know what the heck a Bebo is. I almost thought you
Kind
said
of that mid 2000s sort of all over the place. It's like LiveJournal and Bebo and MySpace and all that good stuff.
I always liked going on CartoonNetwork.com.
Did you have a Cartoon Orbit account?
I do not know.
Did that's some 2001 shit right there.
Actually, I kid you not, the very first social account I made was a Wikipedia account because of course I did. But anyways, no, actually my very first social media I joined was Twitter. So sorry, what is it, a voice here? But you can follow me at. Oh, you really can't talk. There you go. You can follow me at the Twitter at ERIKZERINS. And, you can just talk with me about wrestling and auto racing. And also, I was on last week's episode of the Wednesday Night Wall-Up with Rylan, and he's so awesome. Listen to it. It's on Spotify or whatever he does his podcast stuff, and shout out to the BWF as well. But I gave more inside details about Dynamite as well, so I'm sorry if I sounded a little silent because I was somewhat repeating what I said with last week, but it was still pretty fun. And hey, maybe one day we could get him on the show for this.
Maybe we could.
So, yeah.
Me and him might have a knockdown drag out if if he's like some other people.
We can expand the family here. We need some more marks. But yeah, just follow me at the Twitter.
All right. Well, for easy, I'm the Athletic Geek. We're just marks, and we're out. Have a good one.